I guess after coming this year's clean slate, last year's remember, does this really tell you that football season's here when you come to media days like this?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely gets me a little bit more excited for the upcoming season. I can't wait. Seeing all you guys, put a smile on my face, man. Can't wait for the season.
Is there a point where you think a little chip on your shoulder because we look at the all-conference team, no one on OSU's represented, expectations are as high. Do you feel like OSU's overlooked, or do you play with a chip on your shoulder going into the season?
Yeah, I feel like we all, as a team, playing with a chip on our shoulder, as you say. I feel like everybody is kind of overlooking Oklahoma State based off the season we had last year, but we kind of don't want to focus too much, on the media. Just kind of focus on what we got going.
Do y'all talk about that at all? About just coming into this year feeling overlooked, or is that just something you think all the guys feel?
I think all the guys feel it. Last year wasn't our best season. We've had better seasons. We know what it takes to get the job done.
Mike loves operating under the radar, not anybody talking about it. You have a new coaching staff, a new roster. How do the guys feel about going into this year, not being talked about? Like, you guys, do you prefer to be under the radar? Do you prefer people talking about it? How do you guys like that?
I think we prefer to kind of be under the radar. People don't see what's coming. We like to, work in silence. And when people see us, they see us on Saturdays and be like, oh yeah, it's go time.
Obviously a lot of new guys on this roster. How have everybody kind of come together over the summer? How's the team bonding been?
It's been good. I feel like we all have the same common goal, so it hasn't really been too hard to mesh with a lot of the new guys. We all want to be good. We all want to be great. We all know that last year wasn't acceptable, so we're just trying to change that.
Was summer different at all because you have new coaches? I know you don't interact with them a ton during the summer. So.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say it was really too different from the coaches. More so from the players. Just taking that initiative to be better and want to do better. Because, like I said, last year was unacceptable, and we all know that.
What's the biggest difference with the new coaches, especially new coordinator?
I'll probably say the energy they bring. They really don't take much from anybody. I feel like our coaches have that chip on their shoulder, which feeds off into the players.
Your position may be the best to ask this about. I was asking Kenny Dillingham. They had 45 new players in fall camp last year that weren't there the year before. You guys are going to have north of 60. And at corner, there's two guys that are returning. There's a freshman from last year and then a bunch of transfers. And then there's Kenneth Harris, who's getting a chance now. What's it like bringing all these guys together and trying to be a team?
First off, it was a challenge at first just because, it's a bunch of new faces. When you realize we all have the same common goal, it really isn't hard, to mesh or to get guys to come to like extra workouts or anything like that because we all want to be great and we all want to do better.
Josh said you guys eat a lot of meals together. You've tried to be together more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely have. We know that's one way to build, chemistry with one another. Whether that's us going to the field to work out or playing the game together, or just going to grab everybody. We've been trying to do that a lot more.
What was Coach Grandham's challenge to you guys when you guys broke spring? And do you feel like this summer you have met that challenge as a unit?
Mm-hmm. His challenge to us was just to get better each day, study the playbook, because he emphasized that last year was unacceptable. We already felt that, but him coming in, just reiterating it with the energy he has and the attitude he has, kind of, almost hyped this up a little bit. We have to do better.
What was your personal goal for this offseason? What were you hoping to get better at specifically?
Just knowing the playbook in and out, and then physically, just getting faster, getting bigger, to add, different things to my game.
Duff was big on technique. What's Montaner like? What if you were to say, hey, Coach Jules, this is what he really stands for?
Knowing what to do and how to do it and knowing why it's important. He preaches that to us every day because at corner, we can have an amazing game, but we give up one deep ball and it's a game-winning touchdown. Now they're looking at us like, it's not good. So, he just emphasizes knowing what to do and how to do it in each and every play.
Is there one somebody or a few somebodies that you think is going to surprise some people this year?
I'll probably say we have a transfer from ECU, Eric. I feel like he's going to surprise people. We have a bunch of weapons on the offensive side I feel like he's going to surprise a bunch of people.
What about Eric stands out?
He's physical. He plays with that chip on his shoulder every play. He's from Florida, so I don't know if y'all know much about Florida people, but, they come in with attitude like second to none. I love it.
Any of those guys on offense stand out?
Transfer from Marshall. We call him Fitz. He's a big guy, 6'4", can run. Yeah, I feel like he's a really good addition.
What about Terrell Davis?
Oh yeah, he's good from UCO. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
really good, quick. You know, he's going to be a good addition. I'm glad he's on our team.
Seems like you're going by fast, starting a game as a freshman, and now you're here. Your career, does it go by as fast as everyone says it does?
No, it does. I remember being a freshman, hearing the seniors talk about hey, don't take it for granted. It's gonna be going to blink of an eye. And here I am going into my 5th year. I'm like, dang, I remember when I was a freshman. So I'm trying to tell my little brother, the people in his class, like, it goes by fast, man. So don't take it for granted.
Other side of the ball, but the quarterbacks, everyone's going to be keeping an eye on them. What have they been like in this, maybe the interactions you've had with them?
They're all competitive. They're all good. It's just real competitive. We talk a little bit of smack, but it's all love.
In particular with Haas, because I've said this and some people have taken offense to it. I think he may be the best running quarterback I've ever seen at Oklahoma State. And a lot of people say, wait a second, Spencer Sanders. And Spencer was good, but Haas is a 10-600 dude.
I want to say Haas is very fast. He is extremely fast. I remember watching him in the winter, seeing him run. I'm thinking he played receiver. I'm like, oh no, this is a new quarterback. I'm like, oh yeah, he definitely got second gear to him.
Being the older guy, and you've been in the lineup for a while now, going back to your redshirt freshman year. Is it easier to be that voice in the summer? You're talking about player initiative and those sorts of things?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think, my experience with being through the system holds a little bit of weight. We have a lot of new transfers. They don't necessarily know the Cowboy way and how we do things. So, rather that's me leading by example or speaking up, I feel like they listen to me.
Is it weird being an older guy looking around the room and there being so many new faces and not having as many returning guys as maybe you typically would?
I wouldn't necessarily say weird, but I have just kind of looked around. I was like, dang, like I am like one of the few from my class. But I wouldn't say weird because that's just the cards we're dealt. So I was just trying to make the best of it.